search Mainland 98.3 FM and you get to join the conversation live from the studio. And you can also listen via Radio Garden. So location is not a barrier. We have been able to sort that out so that you will enjoy whatever contents we bring on board, regardless of your location. So you can join us via Radio Garden. You can also join us via our website, www.mainlandfm.com. Side Forward joins us. Good morning, Side Forward.
Yeah, good morning, Lady Mo. How are you doing?
Doing very well. How are you doing too?
Good. I'm very good.
All right. That's good. That's good to know that you're good. Just extend that
Thank
goodness. You. Extend that goodness. Side Forward. Extend that goodness.
Take care of yourself.
Anyway, speaking about, you're welcome on board once again to Trends in the Papers.
Thank you.
Speaking about, taking care of yourself. I mean, especially from the incident, the second incident that happened at Lagos Airport. Let's start from there. Several perspectives have been, brought on board about what happened, the unruly, behavior of a passenger from Ibom Air, a journey from Uyo to Lagos State. On the 10th of August, we had another brouhaha or saga, so to say, at the Lagos Airport. When you spoke about just be fine and just be okay, some had brought, of course, we can see the issue that happened at the Lagos airports from several perspectives. Different people have been bringing several perspectives to it. Some had even said that everybody is on the verge of, maybe being disruptive. Everybody's hungry, everybody's this and that, and we're just trying to, any trigger can, make things worse if you are not careful. So let's start from what happened, that viral video, especially the unruly behavior from a passenger that has been greeted with, viral videos, not even just a video, viral video. And I'm sure that a couple of persons would have, seen the videos, the several clips of the videos that have been online so far. Side Forward. According to the press release by the Ibom Air, they said that before the flight, the passenger named Chioma was asked to, Comfort Emerson was asked to put off her phone, because of the flight and all of that. And they said that, somebody beside her had to, take the phone and put it off. And calmness was, brought back. And when they had to land, on landing, every passenger was out. She still stayed back in the plane. And she went ahead to the hostess that had asked her to put off the phone, and then she assaulted her, slapping her, kicking her, and all of that, collected her glasses or whatever it is, stepped on it and all that. And then they had to call the attention of the security personnel, and they didn't allow her to get out of the plane before the security personnel. And when they came, she still assaulted the security personnel, the crew members and all of that, started kicking, doing all sorts, and even heard the fact that she took fire extinguisher as weapon and all of that. And we saw the video of how she was dragged out of the plane. And afterward, we saw a side of the tell that they are blocking me from coming out and all that. Several, and the way they also dragged her to the bus and the way they handled her, she too, the way she was. Your reaction to it, to the whole situation, before we even talk about the reaction from the officials, the Lagos airport officials, and also our attitude now towards whatever might have happened in the plane from boarding state to when they landed at Lagos airport. What's your reaction, first of all, to all do you see, because also some brought on board that what happened last week was like, okay, some people had called out the security officials for not being able to handle the situation well then, and then maybe that had led to the way they had reacted now, at this incident. What's your first reaction to all the videos, first of all?
Well, my first reaction is that, look, what has happened against this particularly, I think her name is Comfort, has further buttressed and revealed who we are as a people, collectively. And I'll try and explain what I mean. simple reason and common sense cannot just prevail in a matter like this. Because there are about 4 issues to look at in the entire episode. First, you have the issue.
So that I want to bring in, she was asked, according to reports, that she was asked to put off her phone because of the flight. And I've been seeing comments with the fact that you don't even put off. I have not traveled before.
You don't need to put off your phone.
I mean, to switch her phone off. Should that have been the appropriate command?
No. Most likely, you see, again, that's why it's good to have the complete story, have a complete picture of things. The reality is that, look, as at the point of takeoff, in fact, there are things, what's it called, instructions within in the plane. You don't even need to the air hostess or the pilot to tell you. You already see that at the point of takeoff, they'll tell you, put off your phone or just put it in flight mode. And that's why you see that at the point of takeoff, you see that people who are still videoing their experience, how the flight is moving and all of that. So you can actually put your phone in flight mode. But most likely, because again, I've seen passengers who do this a lot. You know, it's a local flight.
Right.
At that point, there's still service. There's still internet service on her phone while she's still in the plane. So maybe she was still operating her phone. You know, you have this obsession, this crazy obsession for people to just continue to press their phone. That little moment of just putting it on flight mode, I'm sure the flight is about 45 minutes. All you can do is probably check your pictures and all that, but you need to know. And that's why it's also good to put the information out properly. Was it about putting off her phone, or the fact that it was obvious that, look, she didn't put the phone off and she didn't put it on flight mode? She was still probably on social media chatting and all of that. Because we've seen this season full a lot of time. People are just very difficult to control. You know, if you have 100 cows, and you use one stick like this to move them, they are going to obey you without any problem. Human beings are extremely difficult. And the funny thing is that, look, when they fly international, they respect themselves. But fly local, we just want to do any nonsense. We just want to do whatever we want to do because we think there are no consequences for bad behavior. So again, I would assume that again, one part of the conversation is that, look, this is just a situation of someone not being reasonable enough. You know, not applying common sense to respect. Look, and these instructions are even for your own good and the good of other passengers.
Right.
Because we are talking about safety here. You understand? So, and that's one rule that can never be compromised. You understand? You are going to see the air hostesses coming around. Look, even a simple instruction as point of takeoff, fasten your seatbelt. You will still see passengers who will not be ready. And that particularly is even for your own safety. Point of landing, they would have told you minutes before landing to fasten your seatbelt for safety reasons. Look, that is when you see some passengers that will stand up for your own safety. I have seen people, it is that exact time. You will see somebody standing up to go and use the restroom. Not everywhere, you know, so I understand. But now, let us not even assume that this was a lady who had refused to use her common sense, and refused to obey simple instruction and become so unruly when she was forced to do so. What about the case of measured response? You understand what I'm saying now?
Right. From the official.
She has behaved badly. What is not supposed to be the standard of response to the way she behaved? And on that basis, I'm talking about measured response. How do you respond in a way that does not also officials too did not overstep their bounds in the response to the way the lady had behaved? Because I think she also has a right.
Right.
I also think that no matter what has happened to her too, she should be talking to her God and someone who will be standing up for her. I'll tell you why. So the question is this: she has behaved badly. But what about the response of the airplane? And then the security officials now.
Hello, Sideford. Hello, are you there?
Hello?
Okay. I think we lost the connection.
Can you hear me now?
A few seconds. Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. So what I'm saying is that, look, what about what is supposed to be a measured response from the airline officials from the security officials, blocked from disembarking. Why was that necessary? Wouldn't she have been allowed to step out?
Exactly. According to the reports, especially from the press statement from Airborne, they're saying that the air hostess was did not allow her to come down because they were waiting for the security personnel to come.
Why not allow her to disembark and then arrest her at the tarmac?
That's another thing. Because
you get what I'm saying?
Right.
Why was she blocked from disembarking? Was that the bargaining and then get people to restrain her immediately? Or even lead her away to the security point? She might find her in the airport, the woman disappeared. Why block her from disembarking? You see, you understand what I'm saying now?
Right. So I think what she now did is when they blocked her from coming down and the personnel now came in, she too now said...
You see what I'm saying is that when you have a bad situation, you don't make it worse with your own response. That's what I'm saying. My own conclusion, the Ibom officials and the airport security made the matters worse in their own response too. In their own unmeasured and unreasonable... Like I told you, there are 4 things to consider. The case of an unruly, badly behaved passenger. There's also a case of an unreasonable response to that behavior from the airline officials and the airport security officials. Nobody wants to be put through that kind of situation, even if you have done anything. So
whatever, but this is not even a criminal case. I don't know.
What I'm even saying is that look, in being reasonable, why not allow her to disembark, Abby, and get the security officials to walk up to her and say, hey, you have a case to answer. What you have done, so, we need to meet our security. At that point, it would have been so easy to restrain her.
At that point,
you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, exactly. At that point where she had also refused to come down, and they had to forcefully.
How are you sure she refused to come down? Wait, now it was when they now want to forcefully evict her from the plane that the whole thing started. She said she wanted to come down. They stopped her, and then they got security guys to now forcefully maybe restrain her. What I'm saying is that she would have been better restrained if she had been allowed to come down. At that point, you can restrain. You can pin her down and put her in cuffs. If you understand what I'm saying.
Yes.
I'm sure the airport, after the tarmac, there are checks within the airport where all of that could have been done. In fact, she could have been also led for questioning. Take her to a part of the airport, put her into a room, say, we have some questions to ask you. And at that point, you can discreetly do what you.
Right.
Now, we now go to the third issue, Lady Mo. The issue of selective justice.
Right.
The issue of double standards. Between what this lady did and what Kwamwan did, which one has put more the flight of standing? There were even airport security officials that were almost going to be killed because of what Kwamwan was doing.
Right. At least indefinitely.
Look, the airport operators, the airline operators of Nigeria, suddenly, very fast, within 10 hours, put her on a life ban from flying. Whereas in the case of Kwamwan, it had to take the Minister of Aviation to tell them that, oh, no. The operators of Nigeria, did they ban Kwamwan? Did they make any statement on Kwamwan's case? Which one should even get them more outraged? The one of Kwamwan or this lady? You don't understand what I'm saying. You see, when it comes to poor people, we have so much energy. You understand?
Yeah.
And that's the way we are. So that even in Kwamwan's statement, that they even offered in the private jet. Whereas he had put so many lives in danger, not his own life alone, no. The lives of the security people or the tarmac and other people. But look at the case of Comfort. Comfort with less than 24 hours, she was addressing anything that happens. Generally, with our society. We tolerate the big monsters. We tolerate the big thieves who steal our monies in billions. But when it comes to the small man that goes into the market to steal a tuber of yam, I'm astonished. Have you not seen it? When the big thieves that we know who are stealing our monies in billions come, we even celebrate them. we celebrate them, we roll out the drums for them. You see people, the way they will beat.
Even the one that end up in court, they will be given sentence, either 2 years.
When our big monsters, God bless you, Lɪධᴇ,
4 years or
when
so.
the EFCC manages to arrest and prosecute our big thieves, what do they get? A slap in the wrist. But you see that somebody who stole. Look at our justice system. And look, no society can make any meaningful progress. Once you have a one-sided justice system, once you have double standard for things happen. So, look, I think the lady has a very good case. I think lawyers should be speaking with her. It's unfortunate that she's still remanded. But this is a case that is available. So, I would expect that the need will be done. And for the other operators who are suddenly gotten the mojo to ban her for life, it will be 6 months. And that one is working free. The other lady, less than 24 hours, they put her before a judge, less than 24 hours, so they married in
Kiri, for what exactly?
What I'm saying is that look at just
assault.
these are two issues that have happened in less than a week. Abi? And look at the response to one, look at the response to the other. The other one that first happened is an influential person, is known, is a friend of the president, is quote unquote our VIP. The other person is an ordinary Nigeria. Look at the truth, look at the response, look at the judgment. And then look at even the fact that look, while they were restraining her, according to the airport officials, they were recording her, she was being pulled out of the aircraft so that they can document it as an evidence. And at some point, you strip that naked, and somebody was so responsible to the point of even putting the video on social media.
And I want to believe that is even one of the officials, because all the passengers.
And we need to know the irresponsible official who must have reviewed the video, knew that the nudity of the lady had been captured, and still went ahead to put it on social media. Again, with the last part, before I forget, is that when it comes to our local flights too, it is a complete mess. All manner of nonsense that happens with our local flights. Who talks about that? Yes, because again, I even dread flying local. I'm sorry, it's just me. And if people who fly local regularly, they will tell you the only flight schedule that you can be sure of that they will keep to time locally is the first flight of the day.
Wow.
Any other time, nothing. You understand? So you also have a very taxi, untidy, unregulated, very terrible flight system when it comes to local flights in Nigeria. Nobody talks about it. This behavior is unfortunate. It could have been avoided. But I think that, look, for me, the lady has got a good check.
She shouldn't have been handled that way. Even a crazy.
I just talked about measured response now. Measured and reasonable response to situation.
Especially a lady, and then you are now calling
even if it's a man,
women officials to attend to her. I don't know.
But if it's a man, it should be a man too, and then they should strip him naked.
No, I'm not saying of course not. I'm just saying no, of course not. There's a way a woman will relate to the other woman. I mean, okay, ma, you know what? And
a woman, I don't know, we've not been able to verify the video. That said, to stop the flight from the entire flight.
From flying because of
they said about, and when she left and you saw that they were also videoing her, you saw that security officials were guiding her like I'm sure it's a VIP, so-called VIP.
No, they rescued her from getting
but you saw that they were guiding her, and they said she had actually disrupted the flight because her bags were not on air on board. Sorry.
She had earlier agreed to the fact that the luggage will be it will be flown to her after because of the
again, we are not verifying the video, we are not have the full story. Well, but I'm just saying that even for Ibom Air, the optics is not good for them when you talk about corporate image. I'm telling you, the fact that there was even a situation where they had blocked the passenger from leaving speaks to one or two things they need to look at when it comes to the operation. But I am thinking that look, this is a case of unfortunate. The double standards, the imbalance we have in our justice system has to be condemned. If they could not have put Kwamwan in handcuff and leave him away from that place, into a court and getting it.
Side forward. Thank you. Because if we continue to talk about this, sincerely, we can have a best way of handling things. Because I think a lot of people, everybody is now angry. Everybody wants to just vent on anything that triggers whatever it is. I just hope that we get it better. Because if earlier the last week incident, people accused the security officials or the personnel officials or airport officials of not being proactive enough or not being doing their duty, and now we are getting another.
Because he's a big man now. Because he's a big man.
Another what happened now? We are
can a poor Nigeria stand in front of him? It was just an altercation in the plane. See the way they stood down naked, and in less than 24 minutes he's in Tʀᴇɪᴅ. Whereas the other man is walking free. And I even put out a very tacky apology.
Well, Saitfa, thank you very much for that. Of course, we have that very story across board, across our dealings this morning. Away from that, there is panic, which has gripped the ADC, African Democratic Congress, as the EFCC, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, allegedly targets key members of the 2027 coalition who are working to unseat the President Bola Tinubu at the 2027 election. And of course, this came yesterday as the EFCC interrogated former Sokoto State Governor Aminu Tambuwal, a member of the coalition, over an alleged fraudulent cash withdrawals amounting to 189 billion naira. Of course, Tambuwal was the ex-governor of Sokoto State, was taken in questioning for investigations. And so the EFCC source told and revealed that the withdrawals were suspected to be in violation of the Money Laundering Prevention Prohibition Act 2022. That he was being held over alleged fraudulent cash withdrawals to the tune of 189 billion naira. The flagrant violation of the Money Laundering Prevention and Prohibition Act 2022. Side forward. And also another official of the commission who also spoke on the condition of anonymity because he was not authorized to speak on the matter, had said that he is in custody at the Abuja corporate headquarters, that investigation is going on and all of that. They contacted the FCC spokesperson Dele Oyewale. He declined to comment on the matter at the moment, but the ADC National Publicity Secretary Bolaji Abdullahi had confirmed that 3 former governors who are key leaders of the coalition had been invited by the anti-graft body. Aside for that.
Well, I don't, again, a very difficult situation here for me. Because again, while we are the ones who encourage the EFCC to do their job, who are misappropriating public funds. So when they do their job, it becomes extreme. We also have a situation where the EFCC has become a political tool to win elections, where it has become a tool to win church politically, and you become immune to EFCC prosecution. If you understand what I'm saying. I'm not so wild. Aminu Tambuwal was last governor of Sokoto State in 2023. Why are you suddenly opening up the case? And according to Abdullahi, we don't know whether it is true or not. What he is saying is that 3 former governors who are members of the ADC have also been invited by the EFCC. We don't know whether that is true or not. We'll probably wait for the EFCC to respond to that. He didn't give them that look. Aminu Tambuwal and whoever has been invited would have their day in court. And they can always go to court to defend themselves. You understand? So whether it is political or not, they should also go to court to defend themselves. If they stole the good money, they should be prosecuted diligently and punished. And if they have no case to answer, after they will be set free. You understand? But again, see, from diligent prosecution of people stealing public funds to becoming a tool for political witch hunt, then it becomes unfortunate.
And Said Fuad, what's your take on investigation before apprehension? I mean, there should be some words of getting evidence. Before you arrest, you must have completed your case. Your investigation, and then we get to investigate separate information to whoever you want to arrest, and then you.
Well, the rates are even different. When you rate, sometimes there's a possibility that you pass both the guilty and the innocent girls. If you are dating Yahoo boy, the day they come to rate them, you to want to go for anything.
But Said Fuad, are you not working with an information that they have gotten? Probably. Even
if you work with information, if you have seen the way rates are conducted, you understand that. Look, if you are caught in the web at that time, you might also be a victim. You The only thing you have to do is now go and sort yourself out. Look at the boy that beheaded the girlfriend in the line. You know, they also find all the friends who also went to court.
Right.
But the court eventually where you go, who you befriend, who you date, you know, who you marry. It's all just very important. But I'm saying that this idea of arresting before investigation is also very in other times. I must tell you. Before an agency like the EFCC knocks at your door, Lɪਧᴇ job, they've done their diligent investigation, and as they are knocking at your door, the next moment, I'm sure in essence, you now see the agencies that are arrested going to court, demanding for time for them to investigate the matter properly. What kind of ridiculousness is this?
No evidence to tender in court.
No. One would have thought that before you arrest, you know, you must. You know, that is why you don't start this investigation. Because all of this money, if it is true, were stolen when they were in power.
Right.
So why not put a lid on them? Put your case together while they are in power. Actually, you already have a case against them. But not the one that you arrest, you now go to court and demand that court should give you more time to keep them in your custody.
Newspaper quickly. Federal government rolled out warnings to 3,598 workers of the SMISAL, ordering fresh verification exercise to now appear for a re-verification, and warning that failure to do so, they will be taken as evidence of holding fake appointment letters next week, Monday, across various ministries and government agencies, including the Federal Ministries of Agriculture, Defense, Education, Justice, Work, Information, Science and Technology, the Aviation, the Finance Ministries, on the Commission's website, the Office of the Head of the Civil Service of the Federation's website, and on the notice boards of their ministries. And so they are required to change later the July 2025 IPPIS pay slip, getting just an information for the workers that are affected. Do you want to react to that before we move ahead?
Well, this is an employment, and what he said is that there was a lot of racketeering, you know, jobs for sale. You know, again, we need to check again the entire recruitment process as a civil servant at the federal level. One would have thought that is there no central employment process, so that you don't have situations where people are now said to be ghost workers or having fake employment letters. What I'm saying is that when it comes to the Bureau of Employment, I don't know whether there's a bureau. I think there's a Bureau of Employment. So my mind is that, look, for you to get into the civil service at the federal level, it's supposed to be a central system. So when they now employ, they can now deploy. Or we have a situation where every ministry can employ the way they like. Agencies can employ the way the facilitators can do whatever they like. So, and then when they now employ, they now give it to. So how do people get on the payroll? How do they get the employment in the first place? Those are issues I think we need to, because we can't continue to have a situation where we now continue to audit employment every Friday. And I think there should be a process that makes it extremely difficult for this kind of things to happen.
Well, Steve, with the Punch newspaper, this report smashed a suspected car theft syndicate accused of using fake drivers to steal their employers' vehicles. And so the Commissioner of Police, Olondare Jimo, while he was addressing journalists at the command headquarters in Ikeja yesterday, had said that the gang leader, identified as Chinedu Emmanuel, was arrested during the operation which took place on July 17 for employment. And they explained that the drivers took over the vehicles of their employers and spending a week or two with them, with their employers, and then thereafter they would take over, took them across the border. And he added that they sometimes dismantled the cars in Ogun State and sold the spare parts to dealers. And so he said that Emmanuel had confessed to the crime during interrogation. Ended.
It's just an information for people who employ drivers, whether for private or corporate
verification,
to do a lot of background check, proper background check, verify, know who they are. So the story itself, there's a syndicate. So what they do is to apply as drivers with the intention of stealing, or they just butcher it and sell the parts. So it's just like the way we also talk about domestic servants too. For anybody you employ, ensure you do proper verification, do profiling, and be sure that, look, they are not there with bad intentions.
Away from that quickly, also the 7 core member, which we also spoke about yesterday, about our extension. And of course, it's obvious that she was not the only one that got the extension. But the 7 core member, that's Ushin service month, due to maybe a comment, a comment on political issues, that it's the fact that she was unable to do an April clearance and all of that. And so she had fired back and said that her life remains great without the same certificate, that she had been doing well before the certificate, and also
she should go and get the certificate. She should just go and get the certificate. Again, like I told you the last time, again, of course, there's April clearance, because again, when you miss a clearance, you could be your service year could be extended.
Right.
But again, this is getting the attention of everybody now, because I'm sure there are hundreds of coppers whose service have been extended without any public outcry.
Right.
But there's a public outcry on this one because of the history of this particular core member.
Right.
Who had raised issues in the past and all of that. So without being emotional and losing unnecessary public sentiment, she should do whatever it takes for.
Well, going back to political scene, Babachir Lawal is saying that Obi won the 2023 election, that Tinubu is just full of himself. That's the former secretary to the government of the Federation, Babachir Lawal, claiming that Peter won the election that produced Bola Tinubu as the Nigeria's 16th president. And definitely he has been vocal. Maybe was there another result? Maybe we saw...
It would have been nice to see him present the results that was available to him. Because he said that at the time they were monitoring, and that the results available to him showed that Obi won
the election. They were given another result. Wow.
Again, these are whatever it is. Babachir Lawal is not even a man that I really want to reckon with. Beyond the fact that he was secretary to government, I insulted a journalist who asked me a very simple question. All through yesterday, except for the fact that he would say something controversial, like he has said now. I'm sorry, a lot of these guys are political jobbers. If they had gotten the attention of the president, maybe they will not be saying God 7. 2023 is gone and gone forever. There's nothing anybody can do about it.
Right.
So coming up with some of these statements that Obi want to be the no way, for me, is mere distraction. If Obi is still intended becoming president, he should get his politics right.
Well, quickly, away from that, there is a commendation about the appointment of Ms. Derinsola Abiola as the Director General of the Citizenship and Leadership Training Center by President Bola Tinubu, which had been commended by the National Association of Nigerian Students, that's NANS. They're saying that they actually commended the president for the thoughtful and well-deserved appointment of Ms. Derinsola Abiola, that's the daughter of the late Chief MKO Abiola, as the Director General of the Citizenship and Leadership Training Center. Do you also align with their commendation? What did they say?
In their statement, what did they say? We check the profile of this person, or the things she has done in the past. Because I tried to check her profile. Our last appointment was actually
competence, and
what are the evidence of those laudable achievements? That appointment.
We cannot
justify this appointment.
We can do.
So people say, why Babangida? Okay, Abacha appoint Abiola. Let's balance everything. So maybe the next one is to appoint Abacha's son or daughter to balance everything.
She accepted
the story. Why it is making the news is because she's Abiola's daughter. Beyond Abiola's daughter, what else? We need to know.
Right.
And then for now, there is celebrating what is the reason why they are commending the president. Those ones are not even serious.
Anyways, away from that, the Guardian quickly. Rivers Indigenes are now they are suing IBAS. That's the administrator, the sole administrator in Rivers State, and the Electoral Commission, the State Electoral Administration of Rivers State, and the Rivers State's Electoral Commission they have been dragged before the Federal High Court in Abuja to challenge the conduct of the local council election in the state. Side forward.
Well, there's no time. It's a good one. It's commendable. Let's see what will come out of the courts.
Okay.
But my position still remains the same. They can't build something on nothing. The appointment of the sole administrator, history is being made. And like I've always said, it to be recorded as part of the ways we are used to continue to destroy our democracy because of political interest.
Well, thank you very much, Said Fad. We need to step aside for